So today we're going to learn how to make money with ChatGPT by creating your own cold email copywriting service. So let's jump into that right now. And I want you to keep something in mind. I have good news and bad news. The bad news is that when people think about making money with ChatGPT, they think about cold email copywriting, and so there's a ton of competition. The good news is that the competition is using ChatGPT in a very lazy way, and so once you use it strategically, you can easily stand out, okay? So actually, let's figure out, is this an actual problem? It is a problem because businesses and creators, they need to have constant leads and constant business opportunities. And the problem that they do have is that they don't have time. They don't want to sound desperate. This is probably the biggest reason right here that they don't actually send the emails. They don't want to sound like they're desperate for business opportunities. And their emails sound like AI trying to be human. So they'll run into ChatGPT and it just sounds like a ChatGPT message, okay? And so for you, what you would be able to provide, the solution is writing their cold outreach emails, crafting their outreach sequences, optimizing their subject lines, personalizing their actual email templates, and creating A/B tested versions. So that's what you'll be able to do. Now, let me just be very clear. I'm not gonna provide you a template and say, here, take this template and use it for every potential client. That's not gonna work. That's lazy. That's not gonna work. What I'm gonna show you here is the actual process that you'll go through so that whatever client that you're dealing with, you know the exact process of how to handle it so that you can provide good quality copywriting services for their emails, okay? So let's jump into this. Now, there's a lot of different types of clients that you can actually target. You know, there's coaches, agencies, real estate agents, local businesses. For this, let's just say that you are working with, or you want to work with a client who sells their own CRM. So it's a CRM company, and let's say that they are targeting startups. So they want to sell their CRM to startups. So how would you be able to help them? Because you're going to provide the cold email copywriting service for them. So you would have to reach out to whom? To startups. So let's use that as an example and move forward with it. Hey, ChatGPT, what I want you to do is give me the top 10 startups in the US that I should be paying attention to. And these are the top 10 startups that they're actually providing you with. Now, what I did before is that ChatGPT kind of gives you answers that are not consistent. I actually did this search before, and they brought up a company called DeepGram, which is a AI voice company. So I actually went and I checked them out, and so I'm actually going to use them for this example. So for this example, what you will be doing is that you have a client, you're working with a client who's selling their CRM, and you want to be able to reach out to this company to see if you can sell their CRM to them, and you're going to send them a cold email. So that's exactly one of the services that you'll be providing. Now, how would you do that? I'm going to show you exactly how I would do that. So first, you go to the website, and what I would do here is I would immediately look for the team. So go to the About section, go to the leadership, and we have all the leaders here in addition to their titles. I want to go and reach out to Scott Stephenson because he is the CEO. He probably already knows about the CRM that they actually use, and he's probably the one who can make the decision, or is one of the decision makers who can decide if he's going to switch over on the CRM. Now, I'm just assuming that, but that's just what we're going to work with now. And so what I would do is I would go back to Google and I would put his name on the search. Now, you see that he does have a LinkedIn here. You can check out LinkedIn, but the thing is that you might not get, it really depends on if this person posts a lot or not. So if you want something a little more consistent, what I would do is I will actually see if he's been on any type of publication, if he's been on any type of podcast, if he gave any type of speech, because then I can actually reference that in the email. So first, what I will do is I will check the news, and seems like we're not seeing much. So then what I would do is then go to YouTube here, and I would put his name, Scott Stephenson. Now, again, I already did the search previously, but as you can tell, he had I don't know if he had, but he was on the episode 1 of this. Oh, this is his channel. Perfect, right? So Scott Stephenson. So cool. So he created a video 5 months ago. It seems like he's creating the Scott Stephenson AI show. Perfect. This is great. I can actually check out his channel here and see what it's about. The last thing he posted was something 12 days ago. So I can actually watch one of his videos and reference it in the email. Now, what I did see is that he gave a keynote 7 days ago, and you can see I clicked on that. And so we're going to click on this here.
Perspective, like, okay.
This is where I left off. So I saw this much of the actual keynote. Now, there's 2 things that you could do. The first thing that you can do that I recommend is you watch at least the first 2 minutes. The reason why the first 2 minutes is important is because if there is somebody who's introducing him, you want to understand how they're introducing him to see if there's anything that you can use from that information to craft your email. Second, like in this particular video, no one really introduces him onto the stage. They kind of introduce him like a voice introduces him in the back, but you don't see anyone on stage. And then he comes up. So when Scott comes up, he starts talking about himself and what he's doing, etc., very briefly, but you can also use that to see how does he start, what is he talking about, is there anything that I can reference from this. Now, The thing with this keynote is that once you are hovering here, you can see that there's actually a lot of slides. And since there are a lot of slides, this is actually really good information because you can actually reference something on the particular slides. Now, if you are going to reach out to someone and they don't have slides, and let's say they just have a keynote and they're just talking, what you can do is you can, one, watch the whole video, or you can get the transcript. So you can click on this here, and what it would do is that it will provide you these, it takes the whole entire transcript, it puts it onto ChatGPT, and it gives you a summary of what the person actually spoke about. And so what you could do here, this is a faster way. It's not 100% the best because it is just a summary, but you can reference some of the bullet points here and craft an email that way. And so for this particular example, since he has slides, I would reference that. Now, let me show you how he started in the beginning. This is actually important for you to catch.
And voice agent functions. Our marketing team had a little bit of fun with our slides here, so I'm here to talk about going through the audio Turing test and beyond.
This is perfect. His marketing team had a lot of fun. Let me put this on full screen. They had a lot of fun, and what did they do?
Had a little bit of fun with our slides here, so
they went and they took Buzz Lightyear and they put Scott's face right on Buzz, where Buzz's head is supposed to be at right there. And so they made this kind of funny. This is gold because ChatGPT is not going to mention this. And even if it does mention it, it's not going to provide you the slide. Why is the slide important? The slide is important because what I will do is I will screenshot this right here, and I would include this in the email. This is very personalized. Now, why did he include Buzz? Let's see why.
I'm here to talk about going through the audio Turing test and beyond, and hopefully, maybe want to fly here, but hopefully it's at least falling with style if anybody gets that Toy Story reference from back.
Understood. So simply because, his startup is going up, they want to keep going up, 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 right? And that's it. Perfect reference. So that's something that I can use. Now, what I want to do is, again, I can hear the whole thing, or I can actually go to some of the slides. If you go to, let's say right here, you can see in this slide that he's actually bringing up data points. So he's talking about how in 2015 there were thousands of hours of audio trained, and now there's millions of hours of audio trained. And so that's something that I'm also going to include. So let me go and put that on the notes here. We're going to reference Toy Story. We are also going to reference how he's at millions of hours of audio trained. Millions of hours of audio trained. Okay, so this is just an example of what you can do. Now, we have that already set. You could continue watching it. Now it actually comes down to writing the email. Okay, so now that we have that information, we have to actually create the email. And so the email is going to be from the subject and then the body right here. Now, the body actually really doesn't matter. What you want to do is you want to create the email based on the actual subject. And the subject needs to be personal so that the individual can actually respond. And so right now, we want the subject to mention something about Toy Story or something about the millions of hours trained. And so let me go and use ChatGPT to help us. Hey ChatGPT, what I would like you to do is I want you to give me at least 5 different subject lines that I will be sending to Scott, the CEO of DeepGram. And I want to mention that I saw the keynote, that I saw Toy Story, that he actually included Buzz from Toy Story in his slide, which is actually pretty awesome. And actually, one moment, I want to get another piece of information. Let me go back to that video because I don't want to just say, hey, I saw that you mentioned Toy Story. I want to see if there's anything else that he mentioned about Toy Story.
Our marketing team had a little bit of fun with our slides here, so I'm here to talk about going through the audio Turing test and beyond, and hopefully, maybe want to fly here, but hopefully it's at least falling with style if anybody gets that.
He made a Toy Story reference, so we want to put that. He said, Toy Story reference is falling with style.
But I want to talk about where we started.
Okay, so falling with style, and the other thing that I do want to do is I want to check, let me go back to Google. I want to check when Toy Story came out. When did Toy Story 1 come out? Toy Story 1 came out on November 22nd, 1995. So November 22nd, 1995. Now we'll go back to ChatGPT. Hey there. So I got some extra information. He mentioned a reference called Falling with Style, and this is when Buzz Lightyear tries to go up, 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 and beyond, and then he sees the window, he wants to fly out the window, and then he realizes he can't fly out the window, and he falls down. And so that's Falling with Style. And there's another reference to that as well. So there's that, and the fact that Toy Story came out on November 22nd, 1995. I want you to use those pieces of information and give me some really good subject lines that I can use. In addition to that, I want you to give me a couple of PSs that reference Toy Story as well. And so you may be asking, Lindo, why are you so focused so much on Toy Story rather than the company or the CRM? The reason I'm focusing on Toy Story is because nobody's going to send them an email about that. Nobody. This is why you have to do the work to see. He gave this keynote last week. He talked about Toy Story and Buzz. Even though it wasn't for the whole thing, it was what, maybe 30, 40 seconds. You want to use that so that it can actually grab the person's attention. This is, again, like I told you, I'm not providing you a template. I'm providing you the actual process and system to actually go out there and create these really good emails to capture people's attention. So let's see what ChatGPT gave us. Subject lines. From falling with style to scaling voice agents. That is cheesy. Love your Kino, a Toy Story inspired idea from Deep Gram. No. Buzz. Falling with style and a way to help Deep Gram go beyond. Okay. Since November 22nd, 1995, Buzz has been falling with style. Now it's voice agents. This is actually pretty awesome. That's funny. Your audio turning test talk. No. This isn't flying. This is falling with style. Nope. I'm actually going to put this and have this as a contender, and I will also edit it myself. Now we have some PS idea references. So PS, ever since November, Buzz has been flowing with style. I think what you're doing with no. PS, you had me the moment you dropped the flowing with style line. Buzz might miss the window, but Deep Gram clearly isn't missing this market. Okay, that's nice. This is a nice one. Okay, so look, these are examples. If you think some of them are a little cheesy, then you can edit them. But right now, we have the subject and we also have the PS. Okay, so now you can decide whether you want to actually keep the subject or not. And so we can use this. I can also be more specific. I could say the Buzz Lightyear reference stood out the most at FabCon 2025. And this way, I'm talking about the actual event. I'm talking specifically about Buzz Lightyear. I'm talking about the actual reference that he made. So I can use this as well, but this is I'm actually gonna use this one. Okay, so there's that. The PS, you had me the moment you dropped the folding with style line. Okay, let me see. Another thing is I can also kind of relate to him in terms of like, because obviously right now, I mean, this movie came out what in 1995, right? So that means that a lot of people today, especially those in the startup community, probably weren't watching Toy Story when they were growing up, especially if they're younger. So what I could probably say is, when I saw your Buzz Lightyear slide, it reminded me that Toy Story came out on November 22nd, 1995. You could say like I feel old. November. I feel quite. You could say I feel quite old. Quite old. I was born in, let's just say 1995. I was born in 1995 as well. And can't believe it's been that long. So you can put that. And can't believe it's been that long. That's it. And you can end it there. Or, I mean, I don't want to make it too long, but you could say, thank you for bringing Toy Story back. No, you don't want to say back because Toy Story was never in the startup scene. So you can say, thank you for bringing Toy Story to the startup scene. Right there. Okay. So mine is a little longer. And I'm saying this mainly because like I've watched Toy Story as well, so this is why I'm able to add like more context here. So especially if you know what the person is referencing, it's very good for you to add in your own thing. So look, we now have a great subject, and then we have these PS tying back to the subject. Now we have to actually focus on the body of the message. So hey ChatGPT, what I want you to do, I want you to take the summary notes that you provided above, and I want you to be able to provide me a very brief email that I would be sending. And the point of the email is to introduce the client that I'm working with, who has a CRM system that could be capable of actually being a better CRM system for this startup company as opposed to what CRM that they do have. However, I don't want you to make this a sales pitch. I kind of want it to be more like we're kind of trying to see if this would be a good fit, because the fact is that we don't know the CRM that this company has. The CRM could be better than the CRM of my clients. And because of that, I kind of want to ask like a probing question. Only ask one question, not too many questions, because again, this person does not know who we are. This is a cold email. And so just ask one probing question just to see if it would even be a good fit. Make it be not on features, not like, oh, is your CRM faster? Nothing boring like that, but make it be more like on like process or for example, you can ask about how long does it take to, with your current CRM, when you're pulling up information, how long does it take for you to actually pull up that information? Is it a hassle? You could do something like that. Like if there's an actual pain point, then you're talking to that pain point. Again, you're just clarifying, and then kind of end it with, I would like to, have the opportunity at least to, you can actually include the Toy Story reference. You can say, I'm sending this email because I wanted to at least take the shot. Of sending this email. And if you don't respond, or if you're not interested in a CRM, that's completely fine, but at least I'm falling with style. say something like that, so still intertwining that, so you're not just creating a boring email that every other person with AI would create. Okay, so this is what it gave us. I think this is a bit too long, but what we're going to do, we're going to take this, put it into the doc here, and we're going to look through it together. So I caught your webcom keynote and really appreciate the way you framed the audio turning test and the path from latency. Oh, that's very specific. Okay, cool. The Buzz Lightyear callback was perfect. Probably don't need to bring it up there. What else? I'm reaching out because I'm helping a fast-growing client who built CRM design specifically for companies scaling the way DeepGram scaling now. Okay, that's fine. I have no idea what CRM you're currently using, so this isn't a pitch. I just want to see if it's even worth a conversation. This isn't a pitch. I just want to see. The one thing I'm curious about, in your current CRM, when you need an accurate, up-to-date pipeline, how long? This is getting too long, too technical, so I will take this out. For lot of high growth, no, now you're selling. Now you're selling here. If that's all right, if that's already instant and painless on your side, it sounds like AI, great, no need to go further. If not, my client actually might actually be a stronger fit than whatever. No, now you're selling. Now you're selling. Get out of here. Either way, I figured it was worth taking the shot. Worst case, you don't respond, and hey, at least I'm falling with style. This is good. I'll edit it a bit. P.S. Been a fan since Toy Story dropped. That is such a lie because the company hasn't even been around since Toy Story dropped. This is why, again, AI is really good at helping you do this and making things quicker, but you can't. If you had sent this to him, he would have been like, seriously? Like, you're just spamming me right now because you don't even know what you're talking about. So we're definitely not going to use that PS. So let's actually edit this a bit because we also don't want this to be too long either. So this part right here is actually really good, but since I did not watch the entire video, I don't know if this is accurate and I don't want this to be a mistake, just like that PS was a mistake. So if you saw it and this is accurate, then I would actually keep it. If it's not, for this sake, I'm going to say, let's not go with it. I'm going to create something on my own. So you can say, I call your keynote. This is fine. You could say that. Or you could say, quote your keynote, and then you could just get to the point, because again, it is a cold email. He has no idea who you are. So you could say, we don't know each other, and this is 100% a cold email. The reason why this is good is because you're acknowledging that you don't know each other and it's a cold email. You can also probably say, thought I should take the shot, and if you don't respond, then well, at least I'm falling with style. That already captures his attention, potentially. And then you could drop down to, I'm reaching out because I'm helping a fast-growing client who builds CRM design specific for companies scaling the way DeepGram scaling now. This is fine. This is great. I have no idea what CRM you're currently using, so this isn't a pitch. I just want to see if it's even worth a conversation. Either way, I figured it was worth taking a shot. Actually, you could probably put that. I should take the shot. If you don't respond, then well, at least I'm falling with style. Either way, I figured it was worth taking the shot. I have no idea. I just want to see if it's even worth a conversation. Thanks for your time. Let's make it very short. Thanks for your time. Or you can say, would love to have a brief 15-minute intro of our CRM so you can judge for yourself if it's a right fit. If it is a right fit. Thanks for your time. P.S. When I started Buzz Lightyear slide, it reminded me that Toy Story came out on November 22nd. I feel quite old. I was born in 1995 as well. And can't believe it's been that long. Thank you for bringing Toy Story to the startup scene. And this is perfect. So what you would do is then you would just take this, you would send it through email, and then you will attach the Buzz Lightyear screenshot that you captured, and then you will send it. So again, hopefully this really gives you an understanding that this is not a template. I'm not saying to use this template, copy and paste it, because this is not going to work. This is the actual process of how you would be able to go and get quality leads in addition to sending quality emails that have a higher chance of being opened and responded to. So if you're able to do this, you can easily offer your cold email copywriting services and make money with ChatGPT by doing this.